What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Sunny review, and today we are taking a look at Super Mega Baseball 2 here on the Nintendo Switch. And this was something that when I saw I had to cover because we have no good baseball games on the Nintendo Switch. And yes, I am looking at you, RBI Baseball. And while I am not a baseball aficionado, I'm a sucker for sports games. So let's take a look. Super Mega Baseball 2 is published by Metalhead Software, and the best way for me to describe this game is baseball in an arcade form. There is no official players or teams, but while it does lack in an official license, what's under the hood of this game is pretty fun. We have 4 different modes, ranging from your standard exhibition mode, where you can do 1 to 4 player local co-op or face your buddies online for some head-to-head play. Then we have elimination, which is just a simple mode where you face a team and eliminate them in a bracket style setting, so essentially like being in a playoff setting. Then we have the season mode, which is the type of sports mode I tend to get into, as you can customize the length of the season and play with a team you pick or even a team you customize. And then you just play in a standard season, racking up wins or losses, and you get a full breakdown of your stats, like your batting and pitching throughout the season. There's 4 divisions with 4 teams in each, and you'll be battling it out until someone wins the pennant. Then we have pennant race mode, which is in my opinion the biggest mode to pay attention to, and I will touch a bit more on this in a bit in terms of how it runs. But essentially this is your online component, and you will be facing other players online and getting yourself ranked depending how you do, so you can face players at your skill level. Now the Switch tends to suffer from a lack of players on a lot of indie games that have online modes, but I don't think you'll have to worry about that because this features cross-platform, which is so huge. So thank you for this. And when I played this mode, I was able to get into a game almost immediately. There is 5 innings here, so you're not going to have to play super long games, and it will go based off your ego rating. Now, ego rating is a big component to this game, as it's going to determine the difficulty of the AI and how you're ranked when you play others head-to-head online. Set this low for a more casual experience, or high for challenging gameplay against the AI. But what I liked as I was playing is that the game was determining for me on where to set this. So playing games will get the ego system working on its own to make sure you're playing at the right challenge, but it is fully customizable for going against the AI. Now the online's a bit different, as you'll want this to place you with good competition, because my very first online game I got my butt whooped, and it placed me with a guy rated probably a little higher than I should have been. Now there is fully customizable teams and players here. You can't create a player from scratch, but you can mess with players' attributes like their power and contact, or the pitcher's velocity and accuracy. You can change pitching motions or batting stances. You can even make a new team and choose which stadium to put them in. You can change the logos. It's pretty open-ended in the amount of things you can customize. But as for the bread and butter here, and that is the gameplay, the game runs buttery smooth, and while the animations and graphics aren't anything too crazy, the game does run at 60 FPS. The mechanics in this game are just solid though. Batting felt easy enough to pick up, and your reticle would follow the ball. But maybe that was because my ego rating was so low, so the game was giving me a little bit of help. Plenty of times though I would strike out and be fooled on a pitch, but the batting gameplay just felt solid, unlike a certain game that I played earlier this year, RBI Baseball. Fielding was somewhat interesting, as the AI kind of takes over when it's catching a pop fly. It ends up becoming this weird like auto field thing. There was these moments though where the game put you in these slow motion situations, giving you a second to react by either diving or jumping for a line drive that would go over your head or just stretched out part of your arms. And as for the auto fielding part, this kind of got buggy for me at times, as I would notice that the AI would just not react appropriately, or sometimes I would hit a button and something would just not cooperate. So there's like some weird things happening here, and there's I think a little bit of a learning curve here to the fielding, and you'll definitely want to time your throws as well. There's like a little mini game based associated with this, and if your throws are 100% off, it will be an error. So you definitely want to figure out the timing on these. Now the pitching was a solid portion of this game, as you would choose a pitch and then you would have to aim your reticle to the desired spot you were looking to get a solid throw in. But I would admit that I would veer off on this, and I would just try to put it where I wanted. Overall though, pitching felt smooth. though at times it did have its erratic moments, but I did enjoy this, as I'm definitely a little bit of a pitching snob, as I tend to choose those in career games and other baseball games. But overall, this is an excellent addition to the Nintendo Switch, and I'm excited to see it here. The biggest takeaway from this game I was left with was the online mode, and I think this is where the majority of people interested in this title will probably wonder about. And I will tell you that this ran super smooth, and I am 100% sure I was matched up with a PC player, which even makes it even better. So the matchmaking will definitely take some time for it to kick in, but eventually you will be placed with other players of other similar skill sets. This is definitely a solid baseball title on the Nintendo Switch, and that is why I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. The game is not perfect, and it's definitely an arcade baseball game. Selfishly, I would have liked to have seen a career mode, as that's just my personal jam, but I'm not dinging it for that. Visually, it's okay. The stadiums look great. The ambient sounds in this game are actually really wonderful and very immersive. Gameplay is just fantastic, and overall, just a solid title. Pick this up if you're a fan of baseball and baseball games, but even if you're not, I think Metalhead did an awesome job here making the game really user-friendly and really easy to pick up if you're not. But with all that said, if you guys like this video, please consider hitting that like button, sub to the channel if you're brand new, and consider that $1 Patreon tier in the link down below, as that goes a long way to supporting the channel. But with all that said, I hope you all have a sunny day.